Passive investors, right? Who are they? Where can you find them? And should you be one? Like, what does the life of a passive investor look like? How do you determine who should be a passive investor? Should you be active in real estate or should you be passive in real estate? Let's talk about it. I want to break down a passive investor and what they look like so you can understand, for one, if that is a route that you want to take, or two, where to look for the people who are going to invest in your deals, the passive investor. Typical. This is just an ideal example of what a passive investor would look like. If someone has a full-time career, right, they're doing well, they like their job, they're making, let's call it $150,000 a year. And if they're frugal, they know how to live off $100,000 and say they got $50,000 to set aside every year. Well, what you could do as a passive investor is you take that $50,000 that you have, and every year you buy into a passive real estate investment. Now, if you're investing with a company like ours, a lot of other companies, they look to grow and try to double that money in a window, right? So maybe it's 3 years, maybe it's 5 years. So if you invest that $50,000, the idea is that you're going to get $100,000 back in 5 years or less. So you can play around with the numbers. I gave the example of it being somebody who makes $150,000 and they could save 50. It could go down. They could be a person who makes $100,000 and they can save, say $25,000 a year. Doesn't matter. But the ideal passive investor has ongoing revenue that they can set aside, right? They've got a safety nest egg. They've got some disposable income that they're not using. It's sitting in a bank account. It's sitting in an IRA somewhere earning next to nothing. And you want to get that money out and be able to put it somewhere where it can grow fast. If that's you, you want to consider investing in passive investments. If you know people like that, then you want to tell them about what you're doing as a multifamily investor and the type of returns that they could get by working with you. So that's the lifestyle of somebody who's going to passive invest. Maybe you should be a passive investor. Maybe you should not. Some people make the mistake of learning about real estate and trying to get into passive investing a little bit too soon. It's never bad, but if you have aspirations of doing your own deals, you want to make sure that you keep a little bit of money set aside so you can do your own deals. If it's not time yet, then hey, you wait until it is time. But if you're set up like that, you're like, hey, yeah, I've got money set around, or people who are in that situation, let them know about apartment investing, because they can be the investors that help fuel your career, and those investments add up. Look, we're looking to double money every 5 years. So if you do a $50,000, $25,000 investment 1 year, right, and then maybe you do another one, and then maybe by that third year, you start reaping the benefits of your previous investments, right? Those properties start to get refinanced or they get sold, and that money comes to you in doubles, and then you can put that back. And before you know it, you've grown this snowball of passive income while you do absolutely nothing. And your equity grows, your income grows, your investments grow. And that's a way that can lead even the person who's investing passively to sit on a bundle of wealth in the future just by operating as a passive investor. So hopefully that was clear. There's lots of money to be made in the active investor side and also in the passive investment side of real estate. So take that knowledge, share it with other people, determine where you should be, and then join this apartment investing journey with me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Make it a good one on purpose, because you deserve it. Later.